Boys and girls, welcome back to the Maxi Canalla Show for your daily World Cup coverage. Argentina are in back-to-back World Cup finals. We're gonna be talking about the game that we just watched that we were so lucky to witness, Argentina versus England. We're gonna go over that, and then we're also going to preview some of the ways Argentina can beat Spain and how Spain is gonna play against Argentina. We're gonna preview that final as well. So let's get into it. First, I want to start off obviously talking about Argentina versus England and what this game meant to all Argentinians and all fans of Argentina around the world. It's extra football. It's outside of the match. It's the Malvinas. It's what it means to us. It's defending the colors. It's patriotism, and the players showed that on the field. It wasn't just another match, how it was said before the press conferences. That was just to calm the waters for sure, because they didn't go into the game um, as if it was just another semifinal of the World Cup. There was an extra something there. So that was evident even before the game started. When the national anthems rang, and England's national anthem was first, you could hear that the Argentinian fans were singing El que no salta es un inglés over the national anthem, and then rang the Argentinian national anthem, and the England fans also booed over the anthem, but the Argentinian fans or the Argentinian players, the whole team was yelling it like a battle cry on field. They were yelling it. It was incredible to watch. It was goosebumps. In that moment, I knew I was not ready for what was to come. That already that was up to the level of the match. Just the beginning, without even playing the match, I knew this was something different. But there was some news before the match even started. There was a change in lineups for Argentina, knowing that England has a lot of strong wingers, and that's probably where they're going to try to hurt Argentina. Scaloni changed De Paul in midfield for Giuliano Simeone, who started on the right. And that was very important for Argentina because he runs like an animal, but he pressured up top their build-up play, and then he doubled back to mark two-man versus one with Molina, Spencer Gordon, who was coming up on the left there for England. And then we also doubled up with Julian Alvarez, who dropped to as like a left winger. Basically, he played left wing basically the whole match, and he would double up on Reese or Rogers on the other side. So this is how Argentina's formation started off, right? Their lineups were 4-5-1, basically Messi up top, Julian and Simeone on the far extremities of each wing, and in the midfield Enzo, McAllister, and Paredes. And right off the bat, we could see England holding the ball. They were playing with the ball. They definitely targeted playing on the wings. We could see that with overlaps and such, but Argentina was ready for that. Tagliafico defended really, really well the whole game. I think Molina was a little bit weak. Definitely needed the Simeone help, and also Enzo tracked back as well on the right side to help defensively. Also, right off the bat, we could see that Argentina was determined to build a play from the back, not boot it upfield. And this is, I think, the best I've seen Argentina with the ball at their feet in the whole World Cup. They were playing with conviction, with confidence. They knew that they had quality, so they played from the back really well the whole game. But the first half, the first couple minutes for sure, were very scrappy. A lot of fouls on both sides. Argentina started the game off with a strong foot. What we do in Argentina is that they tell you leave a little bit on them in the first couple balls that come near you and they touch, so then they know who they're up against. You give them a little nudge or something like that, just so they know that you're there. And that's what they did for sure. It was a very physical game in the first couple of minutes, and then it started all evening out. Like I said, England had the ball for the first couple minutes. They had some good chances on the wings, but never got a shot on goal. And then Argentina started playing with the ball, especially with their build-up, getting more consistent, and some dumb fouls, especially coming from that right side of Molina's defensive sector, led to some good opportunities for England that they didn't take advantage of. Later on, we saw Messi pick up the ball from a rebound after taking on Spence. Um, puts his body really well and beats Kane. He also beats Gordon, and then takes on, and he keeps going, and he beats then he beats Anderson, and they bring him down. Anderson gets a yellow, and there's a bit of a scrap, but it was beautiful to watch Messi just grab the ball and take on England players, take on the English. It was incredible to watch him do that. At 39 years old, he was just dribbling. Like, the time doesn't exist for this man. He's an eternal. He's the greatest. He's the best of all time. Uh, he's just, there's no words for him. That was just, it gave me goosebumps. It still gives me goosebumps talking about it right now. When I saw that, it was just incredible. Messi had some good interventions in the first half as well. He had some nice touches. He was playing quick, with his back turned to goal because they marked him really well. And from that foul, Messi plays it short to Paredes. He then gets it back from Paredes quick, takes a shot, rebound, blocked by the English players. Enzo picks it up at the edge of the box and takes a shot, goes right above the crossbar and over, just barely, and went whizzed by the crossbar with a beautiful shot. So Enzo, he was in the mood to take shots today. And then Lisandro gets a yellow card later on in the first half, just about when it's ending. But yeah, it was a very scrappy first half, very even first half. But Argentina was showing me some great things, playing the ball more dynamic. The midfield was moving, definitely more to the level of the players that we have in the midfield. And I was really glad to see that, because we had really bad matches in midfield up to the semifinal this World Cup, and that was worrying me a bit, because we know that football is played in the midfield nowadays, and a lot of teams control games through their midfield, like we see Spain and Argentina is known for their midfield. They play really well in associations with each other. They have great quality, and I mean that's fundamental, especially for Argentina's way of playing. So I was really glad to see that they were playing really well, dynamic, first touches, beautiful quality. So then came the second half, and then that's when Argentina started playing even better. Just in the beginning of the first half, Julian Alvarez gets on the end of a chance, and he shoots first post low, and Jordan Pickford saves it. Then he gets back on the end of that chance and shoots at first post again, but high, and Jordan Pickford saves it again. It was going out anyway, but we get a corner off of it. Nothing came from it, but then there was a counter, and Bellingham gets on the end of it. He was kind of dynamic in the first half, and on the second half, he picks it up, drives through the midfield, and we were caught off guard because it was a counter, and Cuti Romero grabs him, and it's a yellow for Cuti. So both of our center halves are now booked. They both have a yellow card, minute 51, and then minute 55, England get a good chance. They get us off of our organized center half. Now we're not in a block, and then they go down the right side with Rogers sending across. Molina is asleep on his mark. He doesn't mark his man. Gordon comes in behind him, anticipates the cross. It goes across Molina, so that was awful for him. And it goes in, slotted right into the bottom left. Dibu has nothing to do. I mean, it's way too close. He can't save it. So we're down 1-0 at minute 55, which was devastating. It was devastating, especially because of how much energy and with how much momentum Argentina went into the first half, or came in from the first half and into the second half. And Argentina keeps playing their game. We keep building quality up through the midfield. I keep saying it, building up from the back. Our build up from the back was just beautiful. It was super risky. It was super risky, some of it. But I really like how Argentina stayed true to that way of playing, because we have a lot of quality to play up from the back, and that's very important when a team like England presses you high. They had a line of like 3 players in midfield and then 2 attackers pressed up high, so it was really difficult to get the ball to midfield. But our center halves would play with a lot of confidence and a lot of quality to a midfield man checking, and then giving a nice pass to either Molina or Taliafico, or to whoever was getting unmarked in the moment, quick with first touches and with back turn to goal. So that was fundamental. Like I said, midfield was even better in the second half. But we are 1-0 down at minute 55, and Argentina keeps the momentum going. Minute 61, Enzo Fernandez gets another shot off. So he keeps threatening the goal at long range, because at this point England was getting a little bit more defensive. We still didn't see them park the bus at this moment yet. But then Paredes gets taken off for Nico Gonzalez, minute 66. And at this point, England was already far back into their half of the field for sure. They were in their area, and Argentina was dominating this part of the game for sure, no doubt about it. At this point of the game, Messi drifts off to the right again and a little bit further back. Minute 68, he puts in a cross for Nico Gonzalez, who goes up in the air really well and anticipates the large England defenders well. He puts it low to the ground, and Pickford saves it off the line. What an incredible reflex and save from Pickford there, because that was definitely a great opportunity for Argentina to tie it, but it seems like it wasn't going in, even though Argentina had the momentum and possession of the game. And then minute 72, we get some more incredible substitutions from Scaloni. So he put in Montiel, Otamendi, and De Paul. Minute 74, 75, De Paul puts in a really good cross for anticipating players running into the box. McAllister gets on the end of it, a shortest player, gets on the end of it against the English center backs, who are huge, right? And it hits the second post. Unfortunately, it hits the post. And then again, just a minute later, DePaul puts another cross in for anticipating running players coming into the box, and McAllister gets on the end of it again. But that goes straight to Pickford's hands. But McAllister's ability to anticipate and get on the end of crosses against big players that are marking him is just phenomenal. If he was a little bit taller, he would be like the best number 9 in the Premier League. But his ability to get up is incredible. But it's getting really desperate at this point. I was just I was at the edge of my seat. I couldn't believe that these balls weren't going into the back of the net at this point. We had so many chances, so many opportunities, and they were taken well, but it seemed like we were just getting really unlucky at some points too. And then again, just a minute later, minute 77, Messi puts in a really nice ball over the top to Nico Gonzalez, who is a little bit on the left side. So he comes in, puts in a ball over the head of the defenders into the back, into space. Nico Gonzalez gets on the end of it, heads the ball towards goal. I think he maybe should have headed it towards the middle where Julian was anticipating the penalty area. But that drifts off wide and ends up in a goal kick. But it seemed like we were generating chances every minute against an English team who decided to just park the bus. Thomas Tuchel decided to just park the bus, and obviously that didn't go in their favor. It was an odd decision, but I think Scaloni made the right changes and adapted to the game correctly. Even I think right off the bat, Scaloni was winning the managerial tactical battle. I think it was a masterclass from Scaloni to start the game the way he did, make the changes he had to make, taking out DePaul, who is like uh, oh, a top player for this side. Scaloni has been with DePaul since the beginning of his cycle, but he makes the hard decisions when he needs to. And this just proved him right, that he had the right tactical read on the game. Even despite Thomas Tuchel's bad decisions tactically. But we took advantage of that. We had the ball and we dominated. We were creating chances like crazies off the back of Messi, DePaul in the midfield. And then at this point, it seemed like England was dead set on parking the bus, and they had no more attack. So Scaloni makes the decision to take off Taliafico and put on Lautaro del Toro Martinez. And at this point, he said, "It's either do or die. We either score, tie it up, or we get scored on 2 or 3 goals." So he was gambling, but I like this ballsy decisions from Scaloni. This is what makes him an incredible manager. And minute 84, Enzo again takes a shot from long range. Pickford gets his fingers on it and goes over the crossbar. But this is Enzo's third attempt. He was feeling it. He was feeling hot. He was feeling like getting some shots off at long range. And we see that at the fourth attempt that he tried, it was a corner taken from Messi short. De Paul gives it back to Messi. Messi takes on a player, and then they double up on him, leaving Enzo open in the edge of the box. He takes a shot, and it was the most beautiful dip on that strike, the most beautiful dip on the strike, and it goes far post, impossible for Pickford to even get a finger on it, to even dream of getting a finger on it. It was the most beautiful strike from outside of the box from Enzo that we know he was feeling it. He was feeling hot, and it goes into the back of the net, minute 85. And at this point, I was actually really worried because we were tied 1-1, and we had just El Cuti, Romero, and Otamendi in defense. And if we would had to go to extra time, we wouldn't have any defense. So I was like, oh my God, we need to score a second now. So Nico Gonzalez has it on the left, puts in a nice dry pass to McAllister, who's at the edge of the box, surrounded by a bunch of English players, stops it, turns, takes a shot, and it hits the post again. McAllister was super unlucky with the game that he played. He deserved the goal. He played phenomenal. This was his best World Cup performance this World Cup. Although he came off playing against Switzerland and scoring, I still think this was his better game. But in that same play, the ball goes loose and rebounds off the post. Messi picks it up and starts taking on Spence again. Beats the second because they double up on him. Puts in a cross with his right foot, and Lautaro is on the far post. It goes over their heads and dips right onto his head. El Toro puts it into the back of the net, minute 92, to give Argentina the 2-1 lead that we were so desperate to get. And you could see it in the players that they just were so desperate to get it, and they played with their hearts. And Messi put in the perfect weighted cross with his right footed, with his weak foot. He's a magician. He's a magician. He's eternal. We just watched the greatest comeback in World Cup history in a semifinal, Argentina versus England. We were witnessing history be made manifest. We have to be extremely, we have to give thanks to whatever you believe in. We have to give glory to God for being able to witness it. We truly are extremely lucky to be witnessing what we just saw. And this group of players are just super special. They never give up. They never let you down. And it's incredible how they always deliver no matter what. The spirit they have is undefeatable. They're solid as a rock in their heart. And it seems that when pressure gets even worse, when you would imagine that you would just shake and crumble under the pressure, they thrive in it and they get even better. And it's just so wonderful to watch. And I just started bawling when that happened. I just couldn't believe it. And I am so extremely lucky to be witnessing this. And Argentina closes out the game 2-1. And Argentina's going to another final, back to back finals. And the players stayed on the field to celebrate with the fans for a long time. We brought out a beautiful banner that says "La Malvinas are always Argentinas." And yeah, FIFA might sanction us with a fine or something. There was talks about like a ban that they would just eliminate Argentina from the World Cup, and really I don't care. This was everything. This match was everything to us, and I'm just so extremely grateful for this group of players, the staff, the manager, everything. They were just incredible, and they really defended the colors of the nation. And there's just an eternal thanks from me to them. And I'm extremely happy to watch my third um, World Cup final with Argentina being there. So I'm just super grateful. But let's talk about that final that's coming up versus Spain, because Spain are a team to beat. They are a top tier team, and I think they've been the best team in the World Cup so far, just behind France. And Argentina's third, obviously, but it's because they're different. They haven't won always with the best football, but today they were better than England in football. They were better than England in spirit, in heart, in nastiness too. They were the best today. But Spain is the team to beat because they play the most organized, beautiful football. Their tactics are phenomenal. They have a great manager, um, and they can dominate just by playing their possession game. They can dominate, and they generate opportunities to score. They generate a lot of danger in the last third of the field. So that's going to be key for Spain, right? They're going to keep the same momentum. I think they're going to keep the same game plan that they did against France versus Argentina. Rodri is going to manage the midfield, and if they can do that, then Argentina's going to have a really hard time. And if they manage to score first, Argentina's going to get really, really frustrated because Spain is just going to hold the ball after they score. They're not going to fall back like England did. And that's going to be the worst because Argentina's not going to have the ball and not going to have opportunities. Um, Besides maybe some Messi magic, and he creates individual opportunities, but that's where Argentina needs to focus on is the midfield, not letting them dominate, not letting them play the ball too easy, making them really, really have a hard time in the midfield. And Argentina's going to have to go tit for tat in midfield. They're going to have to show their best quality and do a lot of pressing, do a lot of marking, have a hard foot, nudge. They're going to have a little bit of nastiness to them, which we know they can do. But I think quality and keeping possession is going to be Argentina's bet. I think they're going to have to go tit for tat with Spain in possession, which is insane. But I think it's what Argentina has to do. If we can get the ball off of Spain, it's going to be insane. And then Argentina can score. And if Argentina scores first, then that's where the game can really go in our favor, and we can pick up on the momentum, maybe score a second, keep the ball, fight for the game. And I think I think Scaloni's probably going to have the same formation and have Julian Alvarez dip back to the 5-man line in midfield as a left winger. So we'd have Juliano Simeone on the right, going up and down and double marking, and then Nico Gonzalez on the other side to double mark Lamine Yamal. Or not Nico Gonzalez, Julian Alvarez to double mark Lamine Yamal. Or we can have Nico Gonzalez as well. I've been hearing that there is a possibility of Nico Gonzalez starting the game instead of Giuliano Simeone. So it would just be on the opposite wing where we have Nicolas Gonzalez on the left side. And he would be in charge of double marking, doubling up on Lamine with Taliafico. Because that's going to be key just as much as the midfield is, because Spain has Midfield, they have wingers, they have attack, they have defense. Their defense is the best in the World Cup for sure. They have only received one goal, so it's going to be Argentina's duty to make a lot of chances, create a lot of danger, and put them on their back foot, because we know Unai Simon has been solid so far, but he hasn't had he hasn't been super convincing either. I think it's mostly on the merit of the defense that they haven't had much chances created against them, and their midfield domination that just holds the ball forever. But if we can, like I said, go tit for tat with them in midfield, get the ball off of them and create some chances, that's where Unai Simon can suffer a bit, because he has a mistake or two in him, I feel, and we can capitalize on that. But yeah, that's going to be the key for Argentina, is take the ball off of Spain, go tit for tat in midfield, and create a very uncomfortable scenario for Spain, which is completely doable with the quality and the players that we have. They're just phenomenal players. But Spain is going to be abusing the wings and dominating possession the way they always do. And yep, hopefully Argentina can pull through, get it over the line. But like I said, what we're watching is not normal. Messi at 39 doing what he does is it's just not ever gonna happen again. He's the only one. He's unique. Messi having his best World Cup at 39, it was just not conceivable for me. I didn't expect that. I expected him to have a great World Cup, but not his best World Cup ever. This is his best performance in international stage ever at 39 years old, taking on players, putting incredible passes, assisting, scoring 8 goals, has 4 assists. It's just, we're never going to watch something like this ever again. And we have to be extremely grateful to be witnessing it. We're extremely lucky. I know I am. I give thanks to God. And I just can't wait to watch the final on Sunday. Whatever happens, I'll be extremely happy. Messi's last World Cup game is going to be a World Cup final. That's the only way he deserves to go out, and I think he deserves to go out winning. Let's hope for the best. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, Aguante Argentina, Aguante Central, Aguante USA. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.